really regretting having that entire Dr. Pepper before then. Are we starting? I can never tell. I'm one of these days I'm going to be saying something really terrible whenever it cuts on. Who knows? Um, there we go. Looks like it's starting. So, hello everyone. This is August 13th, and this is the August 13th TextQuest dev stream. Don't need to have Twitch open on my second monitor that I have now. And I need to not scream into the mic. I think it ends up breaking audio whenever I do that. Anyway, so yeah, happy news for me personally. Doesn't affect any of you. I have a second monitor. Well, actually, I guess it does affect you because now I can make use of an entire monitor for the workspace instead of having it all be awkwardly relegated to having multiple things shared with. So I don't have to have the chat on there on screen for me and on screen for you in two separate places. Now I can just make use of the entire desktop, which is nice. So it'll let us see things a little more clearly. Yeah. I guess we're gonna go ahead and just dive right in. Don't need to have. I am still getting used to having two monitors open, so I sometimes get overwhelmed with information. And oh no! Although that's interesting. Okay, so I think there's a weird bug with Maya where if it's not selected or not focused, and you hover over it and you use middle mouse to scroll, it will freeze. Yeah, that's really weird. Really, really weird. I wonder why it does that. Well, okay, so we're going to do this again. Task Manager. And end task. Okay, there we go. So, let me open that back up. We are going to be texturing the lift today. As you can see, the texture is mostly done. I actually am going to texture it as is because I'm planning on keeping things where their outlines are. So I'll be able to come back later and actually update the texture, and all I'll have to do is just swap in this PNG. And everything will just load fine because we'll know that we've laid it out properly based on these borders. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm kind of not sure what I want to do for this centerpiece, and I might come back later and do colors. There was an interesting thing I wanted to try, but I didn't have time to set it up before tonight's stream. So if we have some time after texturing this, or getting a preliminary look at the texturing for this, we might do that. And I'll talk about that then. Keep you in suspense. So let's go back to Maya. It's not frozen. And open recent files. Okay. So yeah, fun fact for Maya: don't not focus on it, and then try to focus on, or then try to scroll, because it will break. Okay. And yeah, I don't have to have my outliner here in front of you guys anymore. I can have it on the second monitor where it's nice and don't have to worry about it. Although again, it's really awkward having so much information displayed at me at once. I mean, I have a second monitor at work, but I'm never actually. I mean, I'm working in Unity in one monitor and using MonoDevelop in the other, so it's pretty easy. I'm only really focusing on one. But now that I have two and they're both displaying pretty important information, I'm trying to go cross-eyed here and do both of them. So we have this, and actually, let's go ahead and grab these two. I opened up the folders ahead of time because I'm getting better at it. We're going to drag the texture in. Oh, wrong texture. Of course I copied it. Magma Lift. Move that into here. So now, if we go back, we can go to Window, Material, Hypershade, and we want the Magma Lift texture, or material actually. Make it based off of a file. Select the file, and it is the Magma Lift. It's going to be Magma Lift text. All right. So look at that beautiful UV work. All right, that's really weird. Oh, that's a really weird shader thing. Okay, it's got the Z order wrong, or some parts of it are for some reason. Okay. There is transparency. If we look at it, we have this transparency because I want to make the sides actually be transparent to give it a bit more flavor and differentiate it a bit. I don't want it just be solid. So if we go back to Maya, it's really weird, really cool. You can see it drawing out of order. So the back is drawing on top of the front. So you get this really weird, like, pseudo 4D effect. If that was intentional, I would be proud of that. Sadly, it was not intentional. Sadly. Actually, do I need to do something for... Hold on, let me open up the shade. For semi-transparency? No, it seems like it's fine. Bump mapping. Oh, and I guess I'll just say it because I know you guys know me, I'll forget. And I gotta remember to keep this chat window open. It's gonna be awkward. Okay. I'm still learning how to position things between monitors properly. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna try doing some bump mapping on... God, that's just a really cool, weird effect. Lost my train of thought. I'm thinking of doing some bump mapping for the textures, actually, so it's not just a flat texture. We're going to have some... that's really cool. Can't look at it. I get too easily distracted. I'm doing some basic bump mapping stuff, so that way I can add more texture to the textures, actually. So, for example, the tiles, if it's just using the base image, it's just going to give you color, but with bump mapping I can actually delve into, like, nicks and cuts, and the light will reflect differently off of the positioning, which will help differentiate things even more, make it a nice visual difference between everything. I probably won't be able to do that tonight because I have to find a normal map that I can just slap on there because I don't have the time or the skill to generate one in front of you guys probably. So I might just quickly do a search online for like a wood text or a wood normal map or something and slap it on and see how it looks, just out of curiosity. But for now, we're actually going to go here. Then we're going to edit UVs. Oh, actually, so something I was thinking, since we're going to look at these through faces. So these faces, these outside faces, I was thinking of using this guardrail segment for. Now, I like that. I think it's a cool idea. Now, the problem with that is that if you actually look, that means that there's going to be semi-transparency in these sections, which means that you'll be able to see... I hit the Windows button instead of Alt. You'll be able to see the non-visible parts of these stands, because these three are actual physical polygons that you can see, but there's not another polygon inside here. If we awkwardly scroll in, you'll see that it just cuts off because it's inside, so why would there be? Which means that I have to do some really awkward sort of extensions here, and we're going to see how this goes. And actually, before we do that, because we know that this model, I like this model, it's actually good, I am going to duplicate this Magma Lift and then put the original in the separate stuff layer. So now that that's that, this is a duplicated Magma Lift, and we're going to experiment with that sort of awkward... Oh, and let me make sure that my animation's stuck. Oh, I don't think it did. That makes me sad. Animation doesn't go with it, huh? Oh, well, not like it was hard to open that, to do that door. But yeah, this way we can sort of mess around with the geometry and the topology, and it won't necessarily ruin our actual model. Not that it took too long to model out, but, you know, that would... If I had to remodel it again, it would be the 5th time I've done it, and I don't like rebuilding the same thing over and over again. So we're going to go into edge mode. Grab this, and edit mesh. Extrude. It's going to be awkward. Oh, it's based off of normals. Crap! Is there a way? I might just have to manually do this. Can we do 0.5? Okay, good. That's fine. So we'll move this to 0. That's where it should go. If I could more easily grab the tool. which I think I have to actually click on the square option for it. Okay, so that's there. And the second thing, well, we'll have to do it for all of them. And that also means on this side. And knowing me, the normals are probably, yep, backwards. So grab this. Normals, reverse. There we go. Go back to edge. That. Edit mesh. Extrude. Go to 0Y again. Okay, that's good. Ah, that's really cool and weird, and you know, I should really be more upset that it's doing that, but it's just so dang cool to look at. And again, edit mesh, extrude. Actually, let me see if I can do the. Not gonna mess with that too much because I'd prefer not to just completely mess up the model. Again, that's why we do duplicates, because it messes with things sometimes. Which actually probably isn't... Oh, right, because it's drawing out of order. We want to actually grab these two and normals reverse. Now they're drawing correctly. But yeah, working with normals can get pretty weird sometimes. It's going to be pretty amusing when I end up no longer doing nice square faces with TextQuest and I move on to doing, well, I guess with TextQuest that's always what it's going to be. But, you know, I'm not planning on just making all of my games like this. So I'm going to be learning how to actually model, hopefully for my next game. Extrude. You know, I feel terrible talking about non-TextQuest related things right now, but you know, I'm just doing sort of busy work, and I figure, you know, might as well keep you guys entertained, so it's not just, you know, sitting there watching me do basic work. And I guess if I had the time, I would do all this before I showed you guys what I was doing, but I don't have that time. I really am envious of people who do get to work on their games. You know, games that they actually want to work on all day. You know, I do make games for my actual job, and I like my job. It's a very nice job, but you know, it's not games that I would particularly prefer to be making. Mostly because they're games for other people, by which I mean client work. And you know, as any of you who have done client work can attest, freaking bugs in my apartment. I got a fly in here. You know, trying to meet client demands when the clients aren't game makers, they don't really know what they want. It can get pretty tough. So you'll come up with something that's really good and intuitive game wise, but then, you know, it's not good for them. It'd be better for the player, but it's not good for them. So it's kind of annoying. So that's all the pillars stretched to be correct, which means that we still have to do the floors, actually. So we're going to select this. And this is going to be very interesting. We're going to, again, edit mesh, extrude, and it's going to be in X, and it's going to be 1.75 is my guess. I really hope that this is positive X. It is. Was I right? I was right! Ha-ha! So we can go to face here. Normals. Reverse. Okay. So with those reversed, those will be back up. And like I said, the reason we're doing this is because of this transparency. If I didn't do this, you'd be able to see out and through the model if you looked at it from the right angle, which is, it's not great. And that's probably something not a lot of people would notice, but that's kind of the thing that tips you off to a lazy developer, is that it's something small, and they probably knew about it, but they still didn't do anything to fix it. And I guess sometimes that's not fair. Sometimes it could be they just didn't have the time, like if they were on a very tight schedule. But you know, I don't want to be like that. I do not want to be a lazy developer. Although, to be fair, one of my principles of design and artwork is a lazy artist is a good artist. That was something I learned in college, and that's definitely a good way to live if you want to survive. Um, it's not as bad as it sounds. It sounds like I'm just saying like don't do work, but it just means maximize your output for your input. I think that's going to be 1 point. Again, I really hope that this is positive. I think it's going to be negative 1.25. Aha, I'm getting good at this. And then these get extruded. Add a mesh extrude, which means that this is going to be 1.25. So, okay, then we just gotta change the normals. Yeah. Normals, reverse. Okay, so all of that, God, the Z ordering is just completely screwy. I wonder how hard this is going to make texturing. Probably very. So now that that's there, we can do this. We're going to have to make new UVs again. Automatic mapping. Everything should be fine. And something that we'll have to keep in mind, and hopefully my texture will have room for this, but if we look at it, it's going to be interesting. So you'll notice that I have the side stuff up at the very top. Then we have the border for the top below that with the lift. And then we have the corners are going to be the edges. And then we have the floor and the ceiling is going to be this bottom design. But we still have to have a design for the side here. And I was thinking I was going to make it basically this sort of tile pattern. It'll be interesting to try and make that work. Just because of the way that the stuff is set up. But if I can get that to display properly, it'll be a nice thing. We might end up leaving these sort of bottom squares untextured for now, just because I'm probably gonna have to come back later and figure out a better way to do them. But we'll be able to texture everything else and at least see if the top looks right, which is the most important part. This bottom part is not nearly as important as the actual center area where the player can get around it and see things in. So, with that, we are going to now proceed to actual texturing. So, wow, that's a lot of... Okay, so let's highlight this. Do we have multiple UV sets? We do. Right. Oh, well, I have to manually position those anyway. Yeah, so this is going to actually be a really fun UV layout. By fun, I mean fun for you guys because you'll get to see me struggle. But the actual UVing process won't be that bad. It'll just be kind of frustrating, I think. So step one, let's go ahead and switch over to texture mapping. So we're going to grab these. We're just going to go ahead and lay out that center piece. This is also good because I'm not sure what the centerpiece or how good the centerpiece is going to end up being. Am I working with faces? I am, right? Okay, yes. So the proportions might actually be wrong, and if that's the case, I'm going to have to go into Photoshop and edit some of that. But for now, go to this, open this up. Do I have it set to? Okay, I do have it to. So, I almost swore in front of you guys. Discrete turning or discrete rotation was not turned on. A man who loves his discrete rotation. So we move this down, move this over, and we're going to scale it up. Yeah, I figured that would be the case. So it is slightly off proportion-wise. So we're going to move this down to about here. This over here, and if I'm really lucky, that will line up with the door. I don't think it does. Oh, it does! Yeah, that's good. I just have to like put it there a little bit. That's pretty funny. Hold on, let me try and slide it a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty funny. Okay, so that's in there. It is going to have to be redone. Just looks like I have to shrink it by 2 tiles. Not bad. So we can keep that in there for now. Then we can... This is going to be fun. Ugh, of course they're not matched up properly. This is going to be interesting. So I'm going to have to pull off some wizardry here, because I can't do a continuous wrap like I normally do. So if I rotate these and move this up. So normally what I would do here is I would just stretch it until it was vertical and then make sure that it could wrap. But it looks like I might end up having to... No, that won't work. I might actually end up having to go back into my texture to change how some of this is set up. Like it looks like if I can just move... Well, yeah, I should have put a little more thought into the layout of the thing. I was hoping that these faces would actually be the same size, and I was right on these ones. These ones will be the same size, but I didn't think it through, because these ones will not be the same size. Although, yeah, they're slightly... Okay. So this is going to be fun. We are going to be doing a very awkward slide. So we will keep you here. Oh no, that won't work. I can't. Fun. So we're gonna have to go into actually go into TextQuest, into Photoshop. Let's go ahead and do that then. We'll go ahead and redo this. So we need to move this. I think we could actually move it just... It's gonna be 256. That's exactly where we want it to go. And if I was smart, I would have actually put these all in separate layers, and everything to an extent is, but not in the way that would actually be appropriate. Although I can start doing that, I guess. So let's copy divides here. We're going to put it on the guardrail side. Text, and we'll put all the side stuff here. That's going to be divide. Text should go above that. And then, of course, I just realized that's not even what I wanted. I actually wanted this. So, text, move you up there, and divides. Now we can paste that. And if we load that selection, that'll be it. Let's go ahead and just get rid of the divides there. Now, if we were to toggle off front, well, of course, the background. Load selection, magma left background. You know what? It's probably going to just be easier to move all of this. Although, actually, this is going to be 64, I think. Or, what the heck? not 64. What weird measurement did I do this with? I mean, 256 seems right. But, oh, no, it should have been an even number. It's weird. I think it's based off of this. Oh no, don't tell me that this is 64. Oh, it is. I'm really dumb. Huh. Oh no, it was based off of the door. Right, and that had to be stretched. Okay. I was going to say, like, why is it such a weird resolution? And that's why. Because I lack forethought and have much to learn. So now we can just all that. Get rid of all that. Don't need it. Don't need it in the selection. There we go. Get rid of this. And get rid of that. And I think I accidentally went 1 pixel to the left when I released. Which drives me insane. I think I did it again. No. That time yeah, I did! Ah! Freaking! I hate how I don't know if that's just me or if that's my mouse. But if I release... No, it's snapping. You can see that. Sure that it didn't get an extra pixel. It didn't. Okay, that's just really weird. Really? Okay. So it always goes, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. There we go. Oh, I also forgot to. Yeah. That's probably why. But if I were to load this. I bet this is super fun for you guys right now. Just like the most fun in the world. That's why I have 10,000 viewers. You know, very, very popular. Not really, but one of these days I'm not going to be depressing to watch. That's a lie. I'll always be depressing to watch. It's part of my charm. Or my frustrating tendency to, keep talking. Again, in the spirit of entertaining you guys. So let's load selection. Do all that stuff again. We do that so that we can grab what the really? Fine. I guess that's actually right. Although boo the okay. So now we can copy the divides, put them here. That look right? But boom, it does. Sweet, so now we can just do this. Womp. Oh no, it's slightly too large! Crap. Well, that ruined all my plans. So that means that I have to get creative. Ugh, a designer's nightmare. Okay, I think I know what I can do. So, with that, we're going to continue on with our boring... If it takes too much longer, I might just end up swapping to something else so that you guys don't get insanely bored. Again, it did 1 pixel too much. I hate it. It drives me crazy. See, and if I don't do it, then it does that. Okay. I guess it's just Photoshop trying to be smart and assume that human error caused me to miss 1 pixel, so it always snaps 1 pixel closer to whatever you were doing. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of what it looks like, because I have to leave 1 pixel difference for it to actually minimize. I don't know. Edge. So that's the text, and then we need view. Divides. Text. Alright, and then edge is going to need the same treatment. Although, I will probably... Nah, I won't deal with that right now. Although, actually, no, that'll make things easier. So we will do that. So let's go to edge, divides, load selection, okay. Go back to divides, delete. Okay, so now if we toggle off guardrail or edge, should be fine. Let's go here, load selection. Okay, go back to divides, delete. So if I turn off view, you should be fine. Okay, good. So now that just means that I'm slowly getting rid of this giant divides object. And now I can do, oops, I don't have it selected. Now I can do this. And it'll be a lot easier for me to highlight the edge border and move it. So I can copy that now. Go back to edge. Oh, it's not edge. Oh, I gotta rename these. Divides. Oops, I need that. Text. So yeah, how's your day, guys? You know, mine's going pretty well so far. You know, standard fare. You know, just embarrassing myself like always with Maya. But you know, it's just what I do. Normal day. Doesn't really hurt me anymore. I've gone dead inside. You know, it's nice. So we're actually going to rename edge to lift and corner to edge, because that way it makes more sense. Save this because I haven't saved in a while. So now I should be able to move things around a little bit easier. I don't know why I do that. I did that with a bunch of old pixel art stuff I used to do too, where it wasn't drawing everything on the same layer, but the layering could have definitely been more compartmentalized. So I would have to toggle off, rather than toggling off positions, it would be like toggling off certain positions underneath subfolders, which made it very difficult to visualize things, which I didn't like. So now back to my grandmaster plan after all of that, which is to move the top guardrail down to here. And I don't trust snapping sometimes, so I always move it 1 pixel to make sure it's right. Then move. Well, actually, that's fine for now. But we are going to have to do that divide thing to doors. So let's load selection again. See, and then if I do it there, it doesn't snap to 1 pixel. Okay, so let's move you. Okay, so now we have that. Go to door. We want to go to the top. Text. Divides. Just hit paste there. Paste. Go back here. Load selection. Oh yeah, I guess I can talk about something I was planning on doing. So in the spirit of, again, trying to set things up for user tool sets, you know, content creation stuff, I'm messing around with a shader that will allow you to basically swap colors in a texture. So instead of having these preset colors, I could just have, say, door be black, the background be white, and these darker brown areas be red or something. And then you can specify, you know, I want to make red this color, or I want to make green this color. So you would have to make your textures based off of, I think your textures could only have 8 colors, I think, and that would be red, green, blue, yellow, purple, black, white, and then I can never remember what the combination of red and or of blue and green is. Cyan. So as long as you make it between those 8 colors, then you could swap things in. And for for actual textures, that's not a lot of colors. That's pretty terrible. But for text quest stuff, it's all flat colors like this. And I mean, this entire texture is 3 colors: the door color, the divide color, and the text or the background. Um, so it's just something I would like to. Oh, hello. Why is that? Did I not do one for the side? No, I haven't. And I haven't done one for the door yet. What was I saying? But yeah, I mean that's just something I'm sort of experimenting with right now to make things more interesting for you guys in the future, hopefully. I think once we get this actually moved around and edited, we'll do some quick UV texturing, and then I'm going to try the normal map thing, because I really want to see what that looks like. I'm really curious to see that. So we can do load selection, and at least I can select everything easily now, because they're all separated for the most part. So we can copy that, move that into, oh, and I called it text and text. Front, I guess. Selection, go back to divides, hit delete, then toggle this off. Good, it goes away. That's what we want. Select selection, hit OK, get rid of all this crap. And that basically just leaves us with the sides divides. Form, go back to divides, hit delete. Okay, if we toggle you off. Oops, that's just the text. Toggle you off. Good. Okay, so that's all taken care of. So now we can move this over to here. And we can also move... No, that's going to be too tall. So this has to stay where it is. But I can move. Oh, great, no, that's fine. I can move the guardrail stuff. So move the side over here. And we're gonna have to edit these textures, or the transparency, of course. And the front can slide all the way over here. And then all we have to do is actually duplicate the front, and then we can slide it right there, and up 1 pixel. So now we have a wide front, basically. I'm just going to parent those under front. And actually, that'll be nice because I can. The normal mapping will actually give these 2 guardrails, even though they're the exact same. The texturing will be slightly different, which will be nice. And as a quick fix, let me fill in these spaces, and then I'm also going to delete these spaces. As a nice little side note, if any of you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, it's out now on. You can go buy it on Blu-ray. Well, no, you can't get it on Blu-ray, but you can get it on digital HD. Which of course I bought it because that movie is phenomenal. And I just have the war guitar in my head right now, which was just amazing. That movie is really great. Apparently they're making a game of that. And that would be interesting. I'm curious to see it. The footage I've seen so far is okay. It's kind of like Batman, that sort of free-flowing combat system. And that could be either good or bad. You know, it could just be lazy. But so all of that. Oh, I forgot to do it on the sides too. That's my fault. And once more. Save. Let's save that out again. So everything should be a little bit better. I guess actually while we're here, I could move this stuff in. It's going to be 256, I think, if it's really convenient. It is really convenient. Okay, so let's move you. Which is going to be another 256, I think. Bam! So that should be better, better sizing, which means that I actually do have. That's actually good. I needed that because I just realized that I don't have a good thing for the pillars on the side. But now I have room. It all worked out. All worked out for the best. So now we can save and save it out. PNG. I use PNGs just because I like PNGs. It gives you transparency and its file size is not huge. You can export to Targa, but Targas are a little larger. And you know, never do JPEG unless you want to do it on purpose, because JPEG is just terrible. So real quick, we're going to go back to Window, Material Texture Editors, Hypershade, go back to MagmaLift. I'm going to close this for now, go back to here, and we're going to reload. Except I did not drag it in there because I have some problems. MagmaLift, and I hate it when it does that. Drag it, copy to replace. And bow. Reload. There we go. So now we should have a nice. I don't need to reproject. No, I don't, because it was just reproject the UVs. But I haven't messed with the UVs. I've just messed with the textures. So let's go to UV Texture Editor again. We're going to grab these three things. Just slide this over, and we're going to cheat and shrink it, which it does produce some stretching artifacts, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah. So it's also really hard to tell. This is probably going to have to be exported to Unity before I can really actually tell what's going on. So you are all in there. Let's rotate you. That looks like it is. Okay, just fine. So I'll move you up. Move you. We'll probably end up having to scale this wide as well. Yep. Scaling you. Alright, that looks pretty nice. I like that. I like that. It'd be better if, you know, the textures weren't completely being rendered the wrong way. But hey, you know, 2 out of 3. It looks good. It just isn't rendering right. Oh no, is this gonna... Yep, it is. Okay. Fun. I gotta go in here and chop off these UVs. Edge. Select these. And... Oops. I hate when I do that. Now I should be able to move these. No problem. Good. Good. Move this. Move this. I probably should have actually like unitized this. That way I could just scale them all at once. But it's fine for now. Scale up and up and up. Doesn't seem right. I don't know. Did I? Yeah, I guess I did. Oh, I thought that I scaled it horizontally, but okay, I guess I didn't. Well, that's interesting. So let's scale it up a little bit more, just slightly. Okay, love it when it snaps. Drives me crazy sometimes. Actually, I need to shrink it down just one more. There we go. Nope. There we go. Okay, now, do that, and up, and bam! Got it in there. It's nice and fancy, and I bet it looks great, but I can't tell because Maya isn't rendering it properly. I do great texture work. Just completely entertaining. Anyway, so just like before, we're going to have to come in here with edges and cut these guys off. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, that's good to know. Snip. Face. It's covered. Okay, of course. I shouldn't have scaled that and moved it up, but I did. And now I'm paying for it. Alright, so this is going to go up here to guardrail. I'm going to have to rotate it 180 degrees. I'm going to scale it up quite a bit. And then I'm going to have to scale it down. No! This one was different. This one was different. Because these ones are side ones, and they are all matched up perfectly to... Well, almost perfectly. They should be perfect, but this one, of course, is not, because it wants to prove me wrong. So, we're going to go this way. Slide it over. That's good. And then we're going to scale it up. And then... Okay. This is going to be fun. Edge. We're going to end up slicing these guys actually as well. So I'll go back to here. So we're going to have to move this guy slightly left. Move this guy slightly left as well. Bam! Nice. And again, I bet this will look great when we import it to Unity. I say that knowing full well that it's probably jinxing it and going to make it terrible, and I'm going to have to reanimate that door before I pull it in, but I'm not going to do that, so I think I'm just going to cheat and toggle it off. That's also why I don't animate normally, but until I'm done. But, like I said last time, when we were doing all the animation stuff, I just wanted to sort of test it. So I might end up, actually... probably just getting these sort of sides done, and then we're going to take it into Unity and see how it looks. Because the floor is going to need to be sort of tinkered with and stretched, and all sorts of weird things done to it so that it looks right. So let's move you slightly down here. I'll move you up. Oh, crap. Right. Nope, we talked about that. It's the exact same thing. Let's move you. Right. And since it's the exact same thing, it means that we have to do some wonky scaling. Like this. Then scale it up. Down one, and then up. And then let's go to edge mode. Separate these guys. And let's go back to face mode. Make sure that you are facing the right way. Aha! And move you back here. And boom! I don't like that it's kind of this awkward, huge divide, but it's not the end of the world. I can slide this in a little bit. Make it a little more tolerable. You gotta be careful, though, because you don't want it to get too small or large on one side and give it a lopsided effect. Alright, so now we're going to have to do the same thing with these guys, aren't we? Fun. He's facing the right way. It's hard to tell. There. Okay, that's good. I'm going to scale you up. You over, up, continue to scale up a little bit, you down, and then we're just going to scale widthwise. Well, alright, let's go back to edge. edge. Back to edge. I don't even think I'm going to need to move that one, actually, but I'll still snip the edges. Move this back over to this side. And bam! Okay. And now we're going to do the same thing to these guys. Let's rotate you. Move you up. And, of course, missed it completely. And let's rotate, or not rotate, scale. Scale up. Up itself. Just... Oh, good. Without even trying, I've managed to align them fairly well. Probably not so lucky on that. Oh, no, they actually aligned pretty well. Wow! Talk about lucky! I have been aligning them without even realizing that I need to make sure that they scale and align properly. I am so happy with myself right now. It is unwarranted. An unwarranted sense of achievement. Let's go back to edge, and we're just going to chop these guys off. And we're going to move them over here. Scale it up. Move it slightly left. Move it up. And then we're going to scale it again. Alright. So then we still got to do it for this. Rotate. Which I don't think that that's... it's too hard to tell. I can't see it. It's rendering wrong, so I have to... You got it. So, rotate it 180 degrees. Scale it up. I think with this one, it's nice. I only need to make sure that it's centered here and then scale it horizontally for it to be okay. It's a little off center. Not the end of the world, though. That's good for now. I'll probably come back in and eyeball this stuff later. Okay. So last thing is probably going to still be attached to crap, isn't it? Yep. So we're going to have to come into the edge on these things here and go ahead and cut those off. So let's go to... we can probably get both of them. Also, tip for anyone who is planning on streaming game development: don't chug an don't chug an entire soda before you go on, because not because you have to go to the bathroom, which I'm sure most of you thought, but because you get a really dry mouth and you really want to drink, but you don't want to be rude. So, of course, made it too wide. I always forget. Those are kind of wonky. So let's shrink it down and spread it up. Up and okay. That should be fine, I think. Maybe a little awkward and close on one side, but Okay, last thing. Beat these guys. Actually, move this so that it's touching that, or at least very close to it. I don't particularly care if it overlaps since they're not right next to each other. I'm going to scale this up. Move it down. Scaled up a little bit more, and then stretch it out horizontally so that it fits. And they are rotated the wrong way. No wonder they had to be stretched like that. I was like, that's not the right rotation. Well, that would be why. Okay. So they are both facing... Okay. So we're going to rotate. Bam! That makes way more sense. Although now, I have to align them vertically. This is the only one I've had to do this with. Actually, you know what? Let's cheat. Let's just move them back to their original positions, and then we will rotate them separately. So that way I know that they are lined up perfectly vertically. I won't have to go on a witch hunt for the incorrect pixels. Which, by the way, I've heard was the bad movie. Completely organic leap. There we go. That's what I was expecting. Because we wanted to stretch vertically, not horizontally. Horizontal stretching means that we did something wrong. Okay. And let's just get the tops here, and then we should be able to come in and at least look at the guardrails, make sure that that's all working fine. So now we want to rotate you guys like that. Is that good? No. Nope, it is completely wrong. We want to rotate them 180. Okay. Then we're going to let's go ahead and scale it up. Well, figuratively, up properly. Scale it this way. Don't need to scale it that much because we're going to end up moving it back over here. Although I might end up stretching it a little bit more. And then we're going to move you to be over here. Just like that. Oh, well, just like that. Okay. So that's fun. Oh, actually, and before I forget, oh no, I forgot. I forgot to texture the inside parts. That's close enough, and I want to try out the normal map thing. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. Right, I need to edit UVs again real quick. Maybe I don't need to. Maybe I was lucky and no, I didn't, of course. Okay. Well, in any case, I'm not going to worry about it too much. So we'll save this, and we will go to File, Export Selection. And it's just going to be called MagmaLift.xvx. Yes, I do want to replace it. And here's the underground, Magma River, lift. Let's go to models, Magma Lift. Copy to lift, replace. Materials, and we're going to go ahead and copy the Magma Lift to it. Sweet. So now, I didn't open up Unity ahead of time. Open up TextQuest. Give it like 20 seconds, if that. I don't know. You'd think that it would open up faster on my computer, but apparently not. Apparently a solid state drive and Core i7 just isn't enough to open Unity fast. Although I guess I do only have 8 gigs of RAM. I really need to get 16. Preferably 32, but I'm not made of money. Especially since the second monitor. That kind of drained me. Oh! Wow! Even Unity's rendering it really wonky. But I think that's because its shader is probably using fade. So if I look at this, I actually don't want it to be legacy shader. I want it to be standard and cutout. There we go. which I think cutout is more expensive, but it's fine. And something that I'm sure you'll notice is, I don't think I can tell it to. No, I can't. Let's change this to 0.25. Well, we'll just get in there, and I will turn off the door for now. Oh, I forgot to texture the sides. Ah. Oh well. Oops, and I also want to turn off the magma lift logic so that it doesn't try to do a level transition. So we can get around in here. Yeah, that's I guess to be expected. So yeah, I actually kind of like that. It's nice. It gives it a sense of transparency. It lets you see things through it. Something I'm sure you've noticed is, you know what? I probably should actually just go in here and model out things. Probably not going to be able to get away with having just a flat polygon surface here. I'm probably going to actually have to model out the bars. Which sucks, but that's because you can see there's no backface rendering. So even though on this side we have these, or this face is visible, when we come over here, it looks like there's just nothing over there, and that's very visually jarring. I don't like doing that. So I'm probably going to end up having to go back into the model and actually carve out actual bars, so it can't just be a flat surface. Which sucks. It knocks the polygon count up a bit, but it's not like it's particularly expensive to render. I mean, we'll be adding probably 2 polygons per space. Well, 4 triangles, 2 quads, maybe more, actually. It's not great, but could be worse, I guess, metaphorically. I haven't tried jumping there. Can I get on this now? I can't. That's good. I don't want to be able to. Kind of awkward. Oh, I can't even jump really. Like, huh? Oh, nope. There you go. If you jump, you can you can still get on it, but that's fine. I'm not gonna. But you can't move once you stand up. That's good at least. But I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna fix that honestly because I don't want to just restrict the player in that way. If they're wanting to jump up there, there's nothing I can really do to stop them. Especially since now that I think about it, all you would really have to do is just come up this side, sneak in from the side, and turn on the lever that moves you. But real quick, do all of the pillar faces at least render properly? Yeah, they're there. They're showing. The normals are all correct. That's good. So yeah, that's just sort of the direction the lift is going. Since I finally sort of settled on a way to start texturing it. But we'll see how that goes. I guess real quick, I'm gonna Google because we have a couple of minutes before I feel like I've kept you guys too long. Move this over. Still got to get used to this stuff. We have a couple of minutes, so let me Google metal normal map. Let me see what the magma lift. I can add a normal map, right? Yes, I can. I could try a height map, I guess. Oof. I think I'll just do a normal map though. Oh, and it's a substance normal map, so that means it's probably pretty good. Oh no, I didn't want to click on it. Okay. Save image as. Normal map. Great name. Normal map.jpg. Open this up. And do I have? Yeah, that's fine. Let's go to downloads. normal map.jpg. So we're just going to plug this in and see what it looks like with this normal map. Well, I mean, it could be better. Oh, I also have to... Okay, right. It's a normal map. So... let's just try that, see if it fixes sort of... Whoa! Maybe if I get a less pronounced effect. And, whoa, it just completely, like, shattered what that normal map should look like. Maybe that's because the bumpiness is too high. Wait, nope. Okay, let's go to, like, 0.1. That's still really bad. Can I do, like, 0.05? I like that a little bit more. I mean, it's nice because it gives it texture, but too much texture in this way will actually make things distracting and you won't be able to read properly. Let's try 0.01. I really only want it to be slight. Like that. I kind of like that. Because yeah, I was talking with a friend of mine about using bump maps and normal maps. You know, it's a really good way, I think, to add this sort of texture. I mean, with this normal map that I just randomly found, since it's using that crosshatch, I forget what it's actually called, style of flooring, it's kind of giving me some weird effects. It look like paper almost, like it's wrinkled, which is cool, but not what I want for metal. But I do like it. I like the concept of having this sort of texturing. It helps break things up. It makes it not just smooth. Of course, knowing me, I'm probably going to take this way too far, and I'm not going to be happy with these designs. So it's going to be more words, and I might try that just to see if I can get away with it. So it'd be words on top of words. But since it's not affecting the color, it's really only affecting the lighting. It might be okay, but I like this. It gives it some nice texture. I am going to try it on... I missed the play button. I'm going to try it on the metal tiling as well, just out of curiosity, sheer curiosity. See, now there it looks like it actually needs to go on a little bit more. But I might also just need a different... Oh. I might also just try a more... I like this. More varied normal map. So if we go from magma metal tile, let's just attach this. Ooh, that's a bit much. Yeah, it makes it a little too distracting. See, that's kind of the problem with this aesthetic of words is it can just be too much. I actually don't know what this is. Is it like tiling? Or layering. Okay, so we do like 0.5. It's intensity, isn't it? Okay. So we do like 0.05. That's... Yeah, that's some noticeable. Let's do 0.25. I kind of like that. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing something like this, actually. Because I do like how this looks. It helps... I mean, at this level, it's nice. It's still completely readable, but it gives it a nice texture. Makes it look it makes it look less smooth, less like it's just straight plastic. That's kind of what, like if I go over here to the bridge, with no sort of mapping like that, it just makes everything really clean, which I like as an aesthetic, but it's a little too clean. I think some texturing could really help differentiate objects. Because I mean, if you look at it right here, the colors differentiate things, yeah, but material-wise, this could be made of plastic or wood, the same because it's the same thing as this. But then the caves are also that exact same texture. So it's like, well, is it rock or is it wood or is it water? It all looks texture-wise the same. Um, so yeah, I think that's just going to be something I'm going to be messing with. It'll be super fun because I've never done normal maps before. So that'll be an adventure. But I like it. It helps. I think it helps add some character and flavor to things. Um, Actually, yeah, that just looks so much better and more interesting visually. Um, yep. So that's something I'm definitely gonna do now. But yeah, I think that's a good place to stop for today. I'm gonna go do some texturing to get all that stuff sorted out. And I guess keep an eye on the Twitter feed. I'm probably next week I'm going to switch over to doing one stream a week, just because um, graduate school is kicking back up. But I will probably not make an actual announcement until next Monday because I'll know better by then. I'm probably only going to stream once next week, but I might end up streaming twice if I can get some really nice visual effects to show you guys. Hopefully I'll actually by then have the entire caves modeled out with the light and all that. Then I might go through and toggle normal maps just to show you what that all looks like. Because this looks really nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, it just makes it look so much nicer. Anyway, that'll be it for me. And was there any other announcement? No, I thought I had something else to tell you guys, but I guess it wasn't that important if I can't remember it. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you all again hopefully next Tuesday.